Hello, my name's Stephen Carr, and I'd like to welcome you back to another SketchUp cooking class. In this class, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the section tool and our dimension tool. So I've turned off the background layer, and I've basically set myself, this is my first view. So I'm looking at the section tool now. So if I click on the section tool, if I click on the surface, what happens is it creates this little section face which I can move, and as I move it in, you can see that I can get inside the house. Now I'm just not happy with what happens to the roof and the floor and the furniture, so what I'd like to do, I'll just undo that for a second here, undo, and this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the walls, right click and edit group. So that means when I use the selection tool, it should only do a section on the wall. So I'm just going to move that in. And I don't want to go too far. I just need to get through the wall, make sure that I've got my floorboards cleaned up. I can just try to go into my front view here. And I'd like to hide this, and then I'm going to just click on the outside, and I'm going to add a scene. Now I always like to just save as a new scene, then you can't do anything wrong by doing that, so I just do that every time, and everything seems to work out. So now that we're in this position here, we can always go back to scene number 2, and we can go back to scene number 3. So that works pretty good. So I'm just going to add a scene here, but I'm going to move it to the right. So if we click here, we're fine. We click here, we go back, we click here, and it comes back out again. So now what I want to do is I'm just going to orbit around to the side and add a scene. And again, right click, edit group, click on my section tool again, select it and move it in. Again, I'm just trying to get through the window. And I have a curtain there, so I'm probably going to have to hide that curtain, which is not a problem. But first of all, I will hide my section plane. Select outside. I can pick this, right click, and hide this. And now I'm going to add a scene. So if I go back to 5, it comes out. So I'm going to right click, add a scene, right click, move right. Okay, so let's just have a look at what this looks like as an animation. So I'm just going to play animation. So that's pretty good. That looks really, really good. Now, this works well when I'm doing this, but if I was doing a section from this side and a section from the other side, I would definitely have to do this. But what I can do, though, is I can actually go in here and I can delete scene number 4, and I can also delete scene number 5. So now what this does, if I go into, I'll start here, and I'll play my animation again. So we go in, and this time when we go around, it kind of, it peels it out. Okay, so probably, I'm going to stop this here. I'm going to go back to scene 3. Now, I want a little bit of a delay here, so I'm just going to add a scene. And when I go to here, I'm going to add one here as well. So this just gives me a little bit of a delay now, so when I play this, it will look a little bit more, it'll give you a chance to look at it instead of being thrown around real quickly. So you got a little chance to look at that, then we orbit around, you got a little chance to look at this, and then it comes out and closes. Okay, I'm just going to stop that now. So I like to do this first of all, before I get into too many other scenes, because I find that sometimes the section tool, if you have a whole bunch of scenes, then you've got to go through and try and clean up that little section thing. You've got to hide it, update your scenes, so it becomes a bit of a problem. So I'm just going to go up to my plan view now, and I'm just going to, in this view here, I'm going to just turn off my ceiling and my roof. Turn off my roof. Turn off the ceiling so I can see inside here. And I think I have a crown molding layer I can turn off too. No? Okay. That'll work okay, I think. I gotta hide a couple other little things here. So in my construction, obviously it wasn't 100% perfect. So I have to try to clean up a little bit of stuff here, just go into the top view. And I want to add some dimensions, but when you do add dimensions, you cannot do this with your walls showing like this. You need to go into your camera and turn your perspective off, turn it into parallel projection. Then this kind of gives us a truer view of what a plan view would look like. So in this view here, I'm going to add a dimension layer. And I'm going to put a couple of dimensions on. Now I have a little dimension tool over here. You see this little 3 foot. If I click on that, I can just click on this corner and click on this corner, and I can drag it out. So that's cool. I don't want you to try to do too many dimensions here. We just want a couple of dimensions so that we can get a feel for the area. Okay, so we don't want anybody to build this. So another thing that would probably be useful here, I'm just in the select tool. I'm just going to actually change this to 18 feet. Just going to make it 18 feet. I don't want it to be, and these are kind of dumb numbers. That's what it is, but we really just want it to be 12 foot by 18 foot. So we're just giving everybody an idea of what area we're working with. So I can add a scene, but I'm going to move it left so that it's my first scene. Then I'm going to click to my next scene, and now I've got my dimensions on here, so it's going to be, I'm going to have to actually select this guy and select this guy, right click, entity info, put them on the dim layer. So now I should be able to turn off my dimension layer. Actually go back to here first. Now I can turn off my dimension layer. And now I have to update my model. Okay, so I'm just going to put this here because we go to the next scene. We're fine. So again, I can see my dimension there. So this is one of the problems we have when we do this stuff. So I've got to turn that off, right click, update, and then I'm going to go to the next one. Same thing, turn it off, right click, update, and go to the next scene. I probably is there, so I'll just turn it off. Right click, update, go on to the next one. Right click, update, finally go to my last one. Right click, update, and I think I'm okay. So we're in pretty good shape now. We've got our top view, which is kind of nice to see. We can go into our front view, and of course, because this one was in perspective view before, it will be in perspective view now. And we just carry on working with our model. So this pretty much ends this session here. Next, we're going to look at doing a walkthrough. Thank you.